just take the
clips up on Facebook. And without going into all the details of the consultation proposals the four unions have seen, this is a completely, and I'll say this publicly, this is a bogus sham redundancy consultation.
Outrageous.
These members are being targeted and victimised under cover of redundancy. This is what is happening in this institute. There has been cuts to adult education funding that are due to take place over the next 2 years from central government, and we don't dispute any of that. This institute on the teaching side is trying to make 2 years worth of savings in 1 year. So they're cutting twice as many courses and jobs on the teaching side than they need to, based on how much income is falling. Yeah, that's the first point. Second point is, and I can't speak for the business support side, but there are concerns that have been raised by those unions around how that's been also put together. So that's problem number one. No other education provider in London operates like this. If you run an education service, you only make the minimum savings necessary if funding goes down, because you want to keep your provision in place. You want to keep it there for the future. This is an attack, this is vandalism on adult education in Redbridge. Next point. We've got twice as many cuts happening as need to happen. The next thing is they're targeting individual members of staff and individual courses. They have not explained to us why particular courses in accountancy, maths, IT and so on are being cut versus other courses. There's no rationale like, well, they didn't recruit enough students, or they're too expensive to run, or there's no reason given. This has the appearance of individuals, but that's the same Labour Council doing this to us, right? We're back here again, and nothing has changed, apparently. Despite the rhetoric put out by the principal and the council in their press statement, there has not been compliance with the council's redundancy policy. The redundancy policy says they will avoid compulsory redundancies in the first instance by looking at alternatives and offering voluntary redundancy across the service. They have not done that. If they had have done that, they might well have obtained enough alternatives. That's what's happening. And in many cases, jobs are just being cut with no alternatives being put in place. We declared a trade dispute on the 2nd of July. Unison declared a dispute on or around the same time. We have not been invited to a single meeting to resolve that dispute. Our dispute's about compulsory redundancies. So despite, again, the lies this institute and council are putting out to the public and the wider community, they're not talking to us. They're ignoring us. We're standing here because they're ignoring us and they don't listen to us. They don't talk to us and they don't operate in an honest and transparent manner. Now, let's talk about the Labour Council. So we wrote to there are two Labour councillors on the Board of Governors currently meeting inside this building right now. We wrote to those Labour councillors and the response we got from one of them was that they would not meet with us. It was not their job to meet with us, and they were not there as representatives of the wider Labour movement. They were there in a governance capacity, yeah, that's right. That was their response. We then wrote to the council leader and the cabinet member for education, said, well, this is the response we got. Would you mind responding and meeting with us? Silence. So we have now publicly put out on social media what I've just told you and explained that this Labour Council is happy to sit idly by while this force and then 18 months later target and single out hard-working staff for compulsory redundancies. All the while we're getting complaints that people feel they're being victimised for other reasons, such as having raised complaints. And my thoughts on this is, what we're here to do today is we're here to defend both this institute and adult education. We're standing together, all the staff together, all the unions together. I'd like to thank GMB, NEU and Unison for coming along today, and the Trades Council. We very much appreciate the support. We'll hopefully, I'll invite speakers from all four unions, and also we have other UCU branches here. If they'd like to say a few words, that would be great. We've got Maxine Luby, the immediate past president of our union here. She may like to say a few words, and Paul Bridges, the head of further education. So if you can hang on in the sun for...
As Adam said, with the whole finally hire thing, which is absolutely appalling, not acceptable. Sadly, it's a lovely day, and I'd much rather be doing other things than being stood outside here defending our members. This is not acceptable what they are. It's acceptable in this country.
Katiba, would you like to say, not to put you on the spot?
Amina, she could speak first.
Amina, yeah, absolutely. Where's Amina?
Yeah.
Please.
I'll just say a few words. Amina Ibrahim, branch secretary, Redbridge Union and Redbridge Unison, and we declared a dispute on the same day as the UCU, because we've got a significant number of members affected, particularly within the support staff. And I suppose not to kind of repeat what Adam said, but we've provided alternatives. We recognise that there is a really difficult financial challenge facing local government, facing institutions across the UK, but we've provided alternative ways of doing this restructure. What we are very, very much in dispute about is the fact that this huge saving is being shouldered by a very small group of staff, and it's not across the board. We know that, and our argument is quite a top-heavy organisation. The members that I represent are often the poorest paid, and what we're saying is there is an alternative way of making these savings, and it isn't to target a small group of staff to make such a large saving. So we are waiting to be called to a meeting, to have a discussion. We are open to negotiation. We're still waiting. Hopefully after today we'll hear something. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. GMB stand together in solidarity with our union colleagues. As Amina said, and I will not reiterate what has just already been said, but it has been targeted to a very small number of people, and we will stand in solidarity with our membership across the board, and we will push back. As Amina said, and it's all been said already, we would like to come to the table. We would like you to sit down with us, and we're open to that. Just give us a call and we will sit down with you. Please come along and tell us what it is that you can offer us and our members. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm Ben Morris. I'm former Joint Secretary of Redbridge NEU, currently retired and Membership Secretary. I've been asked to come here today by Vendor Prem Kumar, our Branch Secretary, who teaches today, and Bill, our Assistant Branch Secretary, has been called into London for an emergency Branch Secretaries meeting where we're talking about the severity of the cuts across London, because we're being hit by a double whammy in our schools across London. The cuts in real terms to our budgets, which has gone on year after year, and like you, the numbers don't sound a lot, 1, 2, 3% a year, but when you've had that for 14, 15 years, it's an awful lot, and our schools are really struggling. So we should be fighting this across the board. I feel that adult education is a vital thing which has been cut back a year over the years, but it is a really vital resource. I understand from talking to people that one of the most popular courses, most important courses here, are the ESOL courses, English language courses, at a time when you've got politicians, unfortunately, from parties that should know better, as well as what we'd expect from reform, saying that the problem in this country is that people don't speak English. At the same time, the people are queuing up. There is a waiting list to get on these courses, and those courses are being cut. And in a borough like Redbridge, we know that the amount of people who don't have English as first language is huge, and it becomes an issue which can isolate people. They want to break that isolation. It is really important. So whatever you do, particularly for us as well, and for Unison and GMB, anywhere where the council is saying to an employer that comes under the council's control, with council members on his board, that you don't have to pay attention to the council's own redundancy policy, is a serious issue for us all, because we have been fighting issues like this in schools, and we will be fighting in the coming years because of what I've just described in schools in Redbridge over that issue. So we're with you 100%. We'll definitely share the petition with our members and anything else we can do. I mean, we haven't got a lot of members here. I think we had 3, but 2 again this year. We'll support you in whatever way we can, but also make it known with our members. This is a public interest as well. It's a vital public service, like too many vital public services being cut back to the bone and beyond, and it's really sad. So it's really important that we do raise this. Whatever you do, I'm led by you, but I mean, if the council's breaking its policies, I'd be all for going down to the council with all the unions together. We haven't seen that enough in Redbridge, really. It'll be...
We staff are not disagreeing that the funding has gone down. what we're saying is, if you're going to do a restructure, do it properly with all the staff, not leave.
Yeah, come on, then, Paul. I've got a chance. I've worked out a chance to do it at the end. Yeah. Oh yeah, like that. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Paul Bridge. I head up further education at the University and Colleges Union. I'm really pleased that we've got all the unions represented here today. That's a powerful thing in itself. That will send a very clear message to those that pretend they can't hear you or pretend they can't see you, because they can now. And I was taken by some of the discussion and contributions earlier on about the sort of value of what this is about. What's a multicultural Britain that we live in, and not be afraid to say these things, not shy away in the face of what we know is widespread and unacceptable racism, sexism and other forms of discrimination. We should be proud because we unite around these values that we share. And what we also share is about being treated decently and with respect. And it sounds to me as if this isn't happening at this institution. And so I'll say some of what I said last night. We had a launch event for our adult education campaign. And I ended on this message, and I'll end on it here today. We are going to fight all job losses in this union. We will not sit back on them, and we're going to push back on this, and we're aiming to win. We're aiming to win not only this dispute, but we're aiming to win for our trade union membership and for our communities.
Are successful. Those courses are always oversubscribed, and people are always, there is a demand in this area. And in fact, some of the students we have come here as well. So they're doing courses here and they're doing courses here. So I know there is a demand for it locally. And this is why I'm astonished, to be honest, that they're talking about cutting the work you're doing, because the work you're doing is valuable. I see it myself in Ilford. I see it over at Chadwell Heath, and it's just remarkable that they've decided to cut this. There is no call for it. There is no call for the persecution of staff. There is no call to run this thing down. I just offer my solidarity and the solidarity of the staff working at New City College in Redbridge to you. Thank you. Thank you.
Anyone else? No?
No, I think I'll say.
Please do, yeah, please.
Okay. Basically, I'm coming from the journey of being the adult that did higher education, because I had my children when I was young, from about 21 onwards, and therefore I missed out trying to do the usual route through the when you're 18 and onwards. So I went back into trying to, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life actually after my children grew up a little bit, and things like some adult further education places, adult education places, where I started doing different courses like the teaching assistant courses and other things, and trying to find out where I stood in this world for my children. For example, exampling actually for my children, so because I'm a single parent, so I'm having to be the example for my children. And I climbed up the thing, and then when Dave Cameron, he wanted people who would teach English to speak, people who require English. He wanted to do a big turnaround. I got that role, and I was doing English conversation classes with Redbridge and through Redbridge Institute and in the libraries and everything like that. So that led me to my experience and everything like that, all because I was able to access these courses and get to where I am now, which I work for the place here for as a learning support assistant, and I see a lot of the students and who I was in the same space as at one point, and how they change throughout the year when we're with them and helping them, and I see my own journey through that as well. And I see that I am showing my children that they need to succeed no matter what happens. yes, you might get a bit of a negative thing happening, or not negative, but your life changes and everything like that, and you need to come back. And if there's nothing to come back to, then what do you do?
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
And they don't want people to be on job seekers or in the support. So they want to get people out onto jobs, and you don't want to do just any job. Just like, oh, you want to have job satisfaction, and job satisfaction comes with helping others. And this is what I'm trying to do. Is I want to help others, and it's amazing because I'm actually for education, and I'm surprised that that is the thing that's going down in this world or in this country. Education, and you know, people need to and to be able to voice out. Communication is important. Communication comes from understanding, knowledge, education. All these things are together, and we need, you know, take money from where it's not needed into the places we do need it, and this is one of the places we do need it at.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you.
Andrew Wall, Barking and Dagenham College. Just very quickly, what I've heard today is very familiar with what's going on at Barking and Dagenham College as well. Running down departments, deliberately running down departments, failing to recruit in those departments, and then suddenly they're using those statistics to cut classes, cut employment. And in particular, it seems to be UCU members that have been picked up. I'll go then.
It's like the Grand Prix, isn't it?
That's champagne.
But no, I'm really heartened that so many unions are here today.
Yeah.
And I think that's got to be the future, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
We're all band together and fight this together.
Yes.
So, solidarity.
Actually trying to cool you down. she thought you was getting a bit hot. It's that pink t-shirt.
Hot pink.
All right, so last call for speakers, and I've got a suggestion for something we might wake them up with. Yeah, you please come.
Okay.
Please do.
I'm a pensioner. You would never believe it. You never believe it. But I work here, and my job is going to be deleted, which was 14 hours. It's not paid a huge amount of money, and my job is to do with employability. Everything I do here is to do with that. So, as well as doing my 14 hours, I'm doing double that without pay. I do it on my own back. I do it the weekend. I get people to send me CVs. I spend time with them doing interview practice. I've got them into jobs, etc. And I run the employability workshops, which I've just finished one today, to help it. And I always believed that here the idea was to get people back into employment. So I keep wondering to myself, why do they want to stop me from doing that particular area? It makes no sense to me whatsoever, especially when I give more than I go that extra mile, more than the extra mile for nothing. And I just do it on the back to see people achieve employment, and I thought that was the idea. And also I am a staff governor, so I've got to go in a minute. But they do chuck me out though when they discuss these areas or finance. But I thought I ought to say that I am a person that does employability here, and you're all talking about what the part of the saying is transforming lives here as part of their motto, and to find people either qualifications or to get them into employment. Well, that's my bit, and that's going. Anyway, that's it.
Well, I think all the speakers have raised, they've covered a wide ground and a wide range of issues. But one thing everyone's agreed on is we all need to stay together and stay united. I think if those of you that work here, if we can keep this up, this level of unity up, we will see where we are next week with all of this, and the four unions will talk to each other. We'll liaise with the Trades Council and with our colleagues and comrades in other branches and other parts of the union structures, and we'll decide how we can take this forward. If we need to go to the council together, we can do that. We'll think about all of those suggestions that everyone's raised. I think we've certainly had a good turnout, and the final part of today really is to let you know, you probably already know, that the governors are about to meet this afternoon to talk about, presumably, amongst other things, the restructure and the savings and the cuts to courses that we've been talking about. So there are 2 Labour councillors somewhere in there at the moment, and obviously, as I said earlier, we've let the council leaders and others, your local MP Wes Streeting, know about what's going on here. So the only thing left for us to do is to let them know, Redbridge Council, stop the cuts!
Redbridge Council, stop the cuts!
Redbridge
Council, stop the cuts! Redbridge Council, stop the cuts! Redbridge Council, stop the cuts! Redbridge Council, stop the cuts! Redbridge Council, stop the cuts! Redbridge Council, stop the cuts!